Hello dear follower of Minecraft Academy, you are warm welcome again to this session. Here you have a trigonometric equation which states that given that tan x is equal to 15 divided by 8 for the value of x ranging between negative 180 degrees less than x and x less than 0. Find A, 6 minus 4 times sine x divided by 5 times cos x, B, the value of x. Now let's see its solution. Here we are given the value of tan x, and the range into which x is found is this one, between 0 and negative 180 degrees. It means that x is a negative angle. As you find that from 0 up to negative 180 degrees are all negatives. So here, first of all, you have to ask yourself, in which quadrant I can find the angle x whose value of tangent is positive. To know that, let's consider this approach that all students take chemistry. These four words, all students take chemistry, can be well elaborated using the 4 quadrants of xy plane. Here this is a first quadrant, a second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. Or students C for first, students C for second quadrant, tech for third quadrant, chemistry for a fourth quadrant. Or means that in a first quadrant, all trigonometric ratios, tangent, cosine, and sine are positive. Students starts with the S representing sine. It means that in a second quadrant, only sine values are positive, while the remaining trigonometric ratios, tangent and cosine, are negative. Tech starts with the T, stands for tangent. Tangent is represented by a third quadrant. Now, it means in a third quadrant, it is where we find only tangent being positive, while cosine and sine are negative. Chemistry starts with the C. C represents cosine. It means that cosine for a fourth quadrant only will be positive, while sine and tangent will be negative. Now, after that, let's look the way we may take the correspondence of what I have said here with a given question. From a given question, we are given a value of tan x is positive. It means that we have seen that only tangent values are positive in a first quadrant and a third quadrant. So, basing on the given range of angles, here from 0 up to negative 180 degrees, it means that we have only the value of angles being negative. So, quadrant 1 is impossible because when we go in a negative direction this way, as all angles are measured from east, now we are told that our all values of x are negative. It means that we are going to measure them in a negative direction this way, in clockwise direction. So the only possible quadrant is a third quadrant. It is where we can find our angle x, and not our first quadrant. Though in our first quadrant tangent is positive, we can't find our angle x in our first quadrant because when we go this way up to the point where we reach in our first quadrant, we find that the angle will be less and less compared to negative 180. We find that maybe it is in this quadrant, you may find the angle can be maybe between negative 270 and negative 360. Now it will be out of the given range. So the only quadrant which is possible is a third quadrant. Now, in a third quadrant, it is where we can find our angle x, that will give the value of tangent being positive and the angle ranging between 0 and negative 180. After that, we are going to consider a third quadrant. Now, in this third quadrant, we are going to construct a right angled triangle this way. A right angled triangle this way. And let's assume this acute angle corresponding to this angle x being angle theta. Angle theta this way. We know from SOH CAH TOA, we know that from SOH CAH TOA, we know that sine of a given angle is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Tangent of a given angle is equal to opposite of adjacent. Cosine of a given angle is equal to adjacent of hypotenuse. SOH CAH TOA. It is a simple way to know the formula used to calculate each of the trigonometric ratios. Now, here we are given tan x is equal to 15 divided by 8. Tan x being equal to 15 divided by 8, it means tangent tan opposite over adjacent. It means that the numerator is opposite. So the opposite to this angle theta, will be this side, this one. So it is negative 15. I have put negative here because you find that it is on the lower side of y in xy plane from here at the center, meaning 0,0. So it is below, and the values below 0,0 here at the center are negative for the case of y. And we take opposite over adjacent. Now adjacent a nearby side to a given angle. Now our angle of consideration is angle theta. Now the adjacent side is this one, the adjacent side to this is theta, this one, which is 80. It will be negative 8, as we know. It is our left side from 0,0 for the part of x. Now its sign will be negative. After that, just remember, I have used theta here, meaning that theta is an acute angle corresponding to the given value of angle A, angle x. This is a right angled triangle. We may use Pythagoras theorem to calculate this unknown sides, this hypotenuse, as we have already the two sides. Now, let's take this as R. As it is a right angled triangle, we are going to use Pythagoras theorem to calculate the length of a third remaining side, which is hypotenuse. According to Pythagoras theorem, we will say that the square of hypotenuse, which is r square, will be equal to the sum of the squares of the two remaining sides, which is negative 15 square plus negative 80 square. Now, to get r, it will be equal to the square root of negative 15 square plus negative 80 square. This will be equal to the square root of 225 plus 64. This one is going to give us 289. The square root for this is equal to 17. So it means that the value of r here will be 17, a hypotenuse of that right angled triangle. After we have already known all the three sides of our right angled triangle, now we are in the position of being able to calculate the remaining two trigonometric ratios, meaning sine and cosine, as already tangent is given. So we may say that sine x, which is equal to the one who takes negative of sine theta. Remember, theta here is an acute angle corresponding to a given value of angle x. So as it is in a third quadrant, to get the same answer as the one who uses angle x directly, it should have a negative sign, meaning that the value obtained is multiplied by negative. Why? Because in a third quadrant, sign is negative, as we've said previously. Now, which is equal to negative sine theta will be equal to, as we've said, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite to this theta is negative 15 divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is positive 17. Now, the value of sine x, which is equal to negative sine theta, is equal to negative 15 divided by 17. What about cos x? Cos x will be equal to, cos x in this, as it is in a third quadrant, we have said that also take, all term is positive, so even cosine is negative. Now, cos x will be equal to negative cos of angle theta, and it will be equal to cosine. We say that cosine adjacent of hypotenuse, adjacent to this theta, adjacent to angle theta is -8. Now is -8 divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 17. So here we get is equal to -8 divided by 17. 17, the value of cos x, which is equal to the value of negative cos theta. Now we have already obtained the value of sine and the cosine that are going to be used to solve part A. So we may start solving our parts. Now, part A, let's start with part A. Part A, you are given 6 minus 4 sine x divided by 5 times cos of angle x. This will be equal to 6 minus 4 times sine x. Minus 4 times sine x. Sine x you are given -15 divided by 17. -15 divided by 17. This one. Divided by 5 times cos x. Cos x -8 divided by 17. So this is going to give us 60 minus 4 times 15, 60. It will be, but negative as it is -15. -60 divided by 17 this way, divided by 5 times -8, -40, but over 17. This one will be equal to 6, negative times negative, positive, plus 60 divided by 17, divided by -40 over 17. Here, 60 plus 60 over 17 will be this way. The LCM will be 17. 17 divided, this is over 1. 17 divided by 1, we get 17 times 6, we get 42, 60, 10. We add 102 plus 17 over 17, 1 times 60, 60. But it is divided by -40 over 17. So this will be equal to 102 plus 60 is 162 divided by 17. Now we're going to multiply by -17 over 40. This one. I have computed this. Now 17 will cancel out with the 17. 17 and 17 will cancel out. We are going to have this one. We're going to have 162 divided by 1 times -1 divided by 40 is 17 and 17 cancel out. Now, here we're going to get 162 times -1, -162 divided by 1 times 40 is 40. When we simplify by a table of 2, we're going to have here is -81 by 2, -81, 14 to 2, we're going to get 20. So the answer is -81 divided by 20. Therefore, we conclude that the value of 60 minus 4 sine x divided by 5 times cos x will be equal to -81 divided by 20. By 20. This is the answer. After that, let's have a look for part B. In part B, we are going to find the value of x. To find the value of x. To get this value of x, first of all, you have to solve this acute angle corresponding to x. So that to get this x, we're going to take this whole angle, that this is a semicircle which is equal to 180 minus this acute angle. So we are going to remain with this, which is our targeted value of x. So let's solve the value of angle theta, which is the corresponding acute angle to angle x. To solve this angle theta, let's apply tan as we are given here. We are given that tan x will be equal to tan of this angle will be equal to, as it corresponds with the theta, will be equal to tan of theta. So tan theta will be equal to 15 divided by 8, as we are given here. This is true because for tan we said opposite over adjacent. Opposite to this theta, negative 15. Adjacent, negative 8. Negative 15 divided by negative 8, 15 over 8 is negative, and negative cancel out to bring the answer being positive. So here, when we solve theta, so here to get theta, theta is equal to tan inverse of 15 divided by 8. So our value of theta will be equal to, when we solve it in a calculator, we get 61.9. Here we've already obtained the acute angle corresponding to the given angle x. But remember, angle x is a negative angle. So angle x now will be equal to negative of, when you look well in this figure, you may find that from here up to here, it is a semicircle whose angle measure, whose degree measure is 180. Now, to get this x, you have to take this 180 minus theta to remain with this one. Now, our x will be equal to 180 degrees minus theta, which is 61.9 degrees. Now, this will give us negative. When we subtract this one, we're going to get negative 118.1 degrees. 1 degree. So, this is the value of angle x. Angle x will be equal to negative 118.1 degrees. This is what I've prepared for you in this session. Thank you for watching. Have a nice moment. Bye.